13-book series, Online Virtual Employee, can be understood as one integrated cultivating pathway devoted to helping a person become a calm, ethical, embodied, technologically wise, emotionally mature, and sustainably productive human being while living and working in the modern online world. Across all 13 books, the central purpose is not merely employment, remote work, digital professionalism, or economic success. The deeper purpose is to cultivate a regulated nervous system, ethical embodiment, lawful responsibility, meaningful work, compassion, attentional maturity, scholarship, peace and harmony, and sustainable human flourishing. The complete pathway teaches that online work becomes healthiest and most meaningful when productivity no longer competes with humanity, but supports becoming more truthful, stable, wise, compassionate, and fully alive. Book 01. The Calm Online Virtual Employee Lock establishes the biological and ethical foundation of the entire system by teaching that nervous system regulation precedes sustainable performance. Productivity without regulation eventually becomes burnout, emotional reactivity, cognitive exhaustion, fragmented attention, poor boundaries, and ethical instability. Therefore, sustainable online professionalism begins through sleep, breathing, recovery, emotional regulation, attentional pacing, embodiment, and nervous system stewardship. The first cultivating realization becomes peace protects performance and regulation protects peace. Book 02, A Quiet Desk, A Quiet Mind, teaches that the environment shapes consciousness. Workspace design is reframed not as aesthetics, but as nervous system governance. Light, posture, clutter, sound, digital organization, rhythms, and transitions influence emotional regulation, cognition, ethical clarity, and sustainable focus. The online professional learns to design calm environments that quietly support dignity, concentration, steadiness, and attentional coherence. A peaceful workspace becomes an invisible form of ethical self-care and compassionate self-governance. Book 03, Ethical Productivity in a Distracted World, reframes attention as moral responsibility. Modern digital systems compete for attention through stimulation, urgency, emotional activation, comparison, distraction, and informational overload. Ethical productivity therefore becomes the cultivation of conscious attentional protection. Productivity is no longer defined through endless output, but through meaningful contribution achieved without sacrificing nervous system well-being, integrity, compassion, or mental clarity. The mature professional learns that what repeatedly receives attention gradually shapes identity, relationships, emotional life, and destiny. Book 04, Working Online Without Losing Your Soul, teaches that technology must remain in service of humanity rather than replace it. Artificial intelligence, digital systems, automation, productivity tools, and metrics become valuable only when governed by ethics, consent, compassion, truthfulness, and human dignity. Online professionals learn how to remain emotionally alive, relationally sincere, spiritually grounded, and psychologically whole while working inside increasingly technological systems. The central realization emerges: technology should increase wisdom, not replace humanity. Book 05, Deep Work, Deep Peace, teaches that concentration becomes sustainable only when supported by nervous system regulation and emotional maturity. Focus is reframed from forceful self-control into compassionate attentional partnership. Deep work becomes embodied meditation, where concentration develops through regulation, rhythm, recovery, breathing, and repeated compassionate return, rather than anxiety, guilt, or perfectionism. Productivity becomes meaningful when it deepens peace instead of harming it. Book 6, Digital Boundaries, Real Peace, teaches that peace requires protection. Online and virtual environments frequently dissolve natural limits between work and rest, emotional availability and professionalism, accessibility and recovery. Therefore, boundaries become nervous system governance expressed through time limits, emotional clarity, communication expectations, consent, availability agreements, and lawful responsibility. The online professional learns that boundaries protect compassion rather than weaken it, because sustainable care requires regulated limits. Book 07, The Ethical Online Professional, teaches that professionalism is embodied ethics practiced consistently in ordinary life. Calm competence, accountability, humility, reliability, truthfulness, consent, communication maturity, and emotional steadiness become more important than speed, status, or performance intensity. Trust emerges through coherence between values and behavior. Professional excellence is therefore reframed as ethical steadiness embodied daily. Book 08, Online Virtual Employee as Daily Meditation, transforms work into cultivating practice. Emails, meetings, deadlines, research, communication, online collaboration, and problem solving become opportunities for nervous system regulation, patience, attentional training, emotional maturity, and ethical embodiment. Meditation is reframed as awareness lived inside ordinary activity rather than separation from life. Work itself becomes a daily practice of becoming calmer, wiser, and more fully present. Book 09, Ethical AI for the Online Virtual Employee, teaches that artificial intelligence must remain governed by humanity, wisdom, and lawful responsibility. AI becomes a tool for learning, organization, creativity, scholarship, communication, and human flourishing rather than dependency or ethical replacement. Online professionals learn transparency, discernment, verification, consent, critical thinking, and humility in technological participation. The mature realization becomes AI amplifies character, it does not replace conscience. Book 10, Online Work, Real Human Relationships, teaches that meaningful online work requires genuine human connection without sacrificing boundaries. Communication, teamwork, empathy, psychological safety, conflict resolution, compassion, and emotional maturity become essential dimensions of professional sustainability. Relationships are understood as nervous system ecosystems in which trust, pacing, listening, consent, and regulated communication strengthen collaboration and human flourishing. Book 11, The Sustainable Online Livelihood, teaches that income should support life rather than consume it. Financial well-being and nervous system well-being are reframed as interdependent rather than opposing goals. Sustainable success emerges through regulated pacing, recovery, emotional maturity, realistic boundaries, simplicity, ethical ambition, and dignified participation in work. Livelihood becomes meaningful when earning supports peace, contribution, health, and humanity rather than inner collapse. Book 12, The Quiet American Ethicist Online, expands the individual professional path into ethical leadership, scholarship, service, and civilizational contribution. Knowledge, ethical AI, education, online communication, writing, teaching, and leadership become meaningful when used to reduce harm, strengthen dignity, support lawful participation, deepen compassion, and cultivate peace and harmony. Leadership is reframed as embodied ethics lived publicly through steadiness, humility, responsibility, and regulated presence. Book 13, The Complete Online Virtual Employee, integrates the entire system into one coherent life philosophy: nervous system stability, ethical productivity, attentional maturity, technological wisdom, relationships, livelihood, professionalism, scholarship, boundaries, compassion, and peace and harmony become unified rather than fragmented. The mature professional learns that meaningful success is not perfection, but integration. A life in which work strengthens truth, technology supports humanity, peace protects contribution, and sustainable living becomes an embodied expression of wisdom. Ultimately, the complete 13-book pathway teaches a single cultivating truth to embody and learn by heart. Online work is not merely about earning a living, it is about learning how to live. When nervous system stability protects attention, ethics guide technology, compassion strengthens professionalism, boundaries protect peace, and work becomes a form of embodied practice, online livelihood transforms into a pathway of truthful, sustainable, compassionate, and fully alive human flourishing.